United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Let the record show that all members of the City Council are present this evening, with the exception of Councilman Ted Fairbanks. A copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted in the meeting room and is accessible to the public at any time during the course of this meeting. First item on the agenda is the consent agenda. All items under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests. First item is item A, approve agenda as submitted. Item B, receive and place on file all notices pertaining to this meeting. Item C, receive and place on file all materials having any bearing on this meeting. Item D, approval of minutes of regular meeting on June 5th, 2017 as on file in the City Clerk's office. Item E, approval of Treasurer's Report of Claims. E1, approval of Beatrice Humane Society claim in the amount of $640. Item E2, approval of balance of Treasurer's Report of Claims in the amount of $576,559.39. Item F, approval of Boswell Report of Claims in the amount of $614,618.95. Item G, approval of special designated license application, Tall Tree Tastings for a beer garden on August 17th through the 21st, 2017 from 12 p.m. until 12 a.m., and permission to use a portion of city right-of-way along the sidewalk. Item H, approval of change order number 1, a decrease in the amount of $1,215.87, and final pay request in the amount of $22,139.10 to TH Construction Company for the 2nd Street Water Main Improvement Project 2017, as recommended by the Board of Public Works. Item I, award a bid for the water main improvements on 8th Street between Beaver Avenue to Oak Street and Oak Street between 8th Street and 13th Street, 2017, to TH Construction in the amount of $72,037.50 as recommended by the Board of Public Works. Item J, resolution number 6072, executing the LPA consultant professional services agreement between the City of Beatrice, Nebraska and Speece Lewis, Inc., a Nebraska corporation for engineering services pertaining to the NDOR project number ENH 61056, NDOR control number 13127, NDOR project description, 2nd Street, Court to Ella Street, as recommended by the Board of Public Works. Item K, resolution number 6073, designating streets or portions of streets as snow emergency routes and snow advisory routes. Item L, resolution number 6074, appointing Zachary Coffin to the Beatrice Board of Public Works. Are there any items that any member of the council wants removed from the consent agenda? Rich?
J.
Item J, and Dwight?
G.
Item G. Anybody from the public? Mr. Catlin? Oh, I'm sorry.
I need abstain from E1.
So noted. Phil's going to abstain from E1. Mr. Catlin?
Mayor, I move that all the items listed on the consent agenda, with the exceptions of items G and J, be approved, accepted, and or ratified as presented.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Kerr, that all items under the consent agenda be approved, with the exceptions of item G and J. Your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. All right, we'll go back to item G.
Mayor, I move the approval of special designated license application to Tall Tree Tastings for a beer garden on August 17th through 21st, 2017 from 12 p.m. until 12 a.m. and permission to use a portion of city right-of-way along the sidewalk be approved, accepted, and or ratified as presented.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Claybaugh, that the special designated license for Tall Tree Tasting be approved. Discussion.
I know we're trying to bring business to town, but here we're going to try and put this encroachment onto the safety route where semis stay. Pretty bad idea, I think. And I really hate to not vote for it, but I haven't voted so far on those, so I think it's just wrong to have it on a truck route for safety reasons.
Anybody else? Any other comments? All right, gentlemen, your vote, please.
Oh, darn, that was close.
And that is approved 6-1, with Councilman Party voting against. Next item is item J.
Resolution number. Mayor, I move that resolution number 6072, executing the LPA Consultant Professional Service Agreement between the City of Beatrice, Nebraska, and Speece Lewis Incorporated, a Nebraska corporation, for engineering services pertaining to NDOR project number ENH 61056, NDOR control number 13127, NDOR project description, 2nd Street, Court through Ella, Beatrice, as recommended by the Board of Public Works, be approved, accepted, and or ratified as presented.
Second.
By Catlin, seconded by Kerr, that we pass resolution number 6072. Further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I don't have a problem with this. I just wanted to know where we were setting. When is the expected start date for Second Street to be started and finished? And do we have any problems from the one we had problems with last time getting this little project through?
Okay, so let's start. First off, start date. The city's portion is supposed to start early July. I don't remember if it's July 1st or July 5th after the holidays, but early July. The state's portion is supposed to start, I believe, July 24th, 25th, whatever that Monday works out to be. I don't know off the top of my head. So our portion, the city's portion will start first. The state's portion then will start after that. I don't know off the top of my head how long the contract term is for the state's portion to get finished up. But I'm thinking you're going to see them both carry on into the fall before they're completed and done and opened up for anything.
Will that be shut down 3-4 months at least? 5 maybe?
Probably 3 or 4 months by the time everything's said and done. You have to remember we also have some other sanitary sewer work. We're going to do along 2nd Street as well. I know Jason's guys have some other patching work they're going to do along that section. So we're going to close it down all at once and then try to get some of that work done and slowly open it back up to Grant Street, hopefully, to get that intersection opened up. As far as issues we've had not had any problems or concerns with the the Historical Society or anybody else down in that project for the last number of months.
Okay, fine.
Any other questions?
Because I've done some research, and apparently we've been trying to get that fixed for 38 years. Bob Larson was the first one that brought it up.
Joe?
Wasn't NDR talking about wanting to push it back further?
The contractor, Emmy Collins, asked for a later start date. The state asked us, we said we prefer not to move it back. Last time we heard the state was supporting our decision not to move it back, but the state ultimately held the final decision of what the start date is.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, gentlemen, your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. Resolution number 6072 has been passed and adopted.
Thanks, Tope.
Anytime.
Next item is a public hearing on the acquisition of real property, commonly referred to as 813 South 7th Street, Beatrice, Nebraska.
If you look in your packet on page 55, you see a map. This lot that we're looking to acquire is on the northwest corner of Brown Street and 7th Street. It's currently owned by the Reitzman family. They're actually two separate owners. There's Brian and Julian Reitzman, and then there is the Barbara Reitzman Trust. And so 2 separate owners. That's why you have 2 resolutions coming up. It's an unimproved parcel of ground. It's a small lot. It's a small corner lot, about 50 feet at most. They've had the property for a number of years. They've gotten to a point where they no longer have any desire to use it, need it, don't need anything. They approached the city about transferring it to the city for no cost. I think we've talked about this in the past. Plans for us, really, could you build a home on it? You might be able to, but it's going to be pretty tight with the setbacks that we have. Most likely what you're going to look to do is probably just have this be green space. You might be able to get the county involved since it's down by their county barn, but otherwise it's probably looking to be green space.
The little,
Have we looked to the owners to the north and see if they have an interest in it?
We certainly can inquire with them and see if they have any interest in
If they
inquiring.
just want to get rid of it, it makes sense to expand theirs out, keep it on the tax roll.
yeah, absolutely.
We can reach out and see if they're interested once we acquire it.
Keep us from having to mow it and everything else, and we could probably make them a real good deal on it.
Probably could.
Probably could. Rick?
I would rather have us have a plan for it before we accept it. I don't want to just accept it for, I mean, what are we going to do with that? Hopefully, if they do give it to us, hopefully we could work a deal out before we even accept it.
We have a lot of properties that we acquire, we don't really have a game plan for. This really isn't any different.
Other comments? Okay, motion to close public hearing.
Mayor, I move that the public hearing be closed at 7:10 PM.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Billsbach, that the public hearing be closed at 7:10 PM. Your vote, please. And that is approved 7-0. Next item is a resolution number 6075, executing all necessary documents to acquire real estate from Brian L. Reitzman and Jolene A. Reitzman.
Mayor, I move that resolution number 6075 be passed and adopted.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Kerr, that resolution number 6075 be passed and adopted. Any further discussion? Okay, and your vote, please. And that is approved 6-1 with Rick Claybaugh voting no. Resolution number 6075 has been passed and approved. Next item is resolution number 6076, executing all documents to acquire real estate from Barbara J. Reitzman, trustee of the Donald and Barbara Reitzman Trust, dated November 14th, 2006.
Mayor, I move that resolution number 6076 be passed and adopted.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Billsbach, that resolution number 6076 be passed and adopted. Any further discussion from anyone? And your vote, please. That is approved 6-1 with Councilman Claybaugh voting no. Resolution number 6076 has been passed and adopted. Next item is ordinance amending sections 11-4, 11-5, and 11-6, adding sections 11-7, 11-8, and 11-9, and repealing sections 11-4.1 and 11-4.2 of the Beatrice City Code regarding the fair housing article of the Beatrice City Code.
Mayor, I move the said ordinance be given number 17-013. The title therefore be approved. The rules be suspended and said ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight.
Second.
By Catlin, seconded by Party, that the ordinance be given number 17-013, title be approved, the rules suspended, the ordinance be read by number only 3 times tonight. Motion to suspend the rules is not debatable. And your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 17-013 by number the first time. Ordinance number 17-013 by number the second time, and ordinance number 17-013 by number the third and final time.
Mayor, I move that ordinance number 17-013 be passed and approved.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Morgan, that ordinance number 17-013 be passed and approved. Discussion.
We talked about this at our last council meeting. We went in, we did a review of the Fair Housing Act that the city had on our city code. In doing so, we recommended updating the definitions. If you recall, we had, I think, 2 terms defined. The state statute had several terms defined. While doing that, it made sense to go ahead and clean up kind of a few other administrative things. And as outlined on page 68 of your packet, what we did was we cleaned up a little bit of language in section 11-4. It referred to some specific codes. We took those out and just said this article. We got rid of the 4.1 and 4.2. Again, it didn't make sense to have that. You have plenty of ordinance numbers. Let's just make them a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9. And so that's what we moved a couple of them around. And then we added the definitions as we discussed. So no substantive changes were done. Just a kind of a review and refresher of the entire Fair Housing Act.
Questions? Comments? Your vote, please. That is approved 7-0. Ordinance number 17-013 has been approved. Next item is a public forum. Purpose of the public forum is for the presentation of an item by the general public to the city council for consideration at a later date. No discussion or action will be taken by the council at this time. Anything for the public forum from the council?
And
Phil?
happy anniversary to Doug Kennedy for 37 years at KWBE.
How many? Geez, you don't look much older than that. Congratulations. All right, next item is city administrator's monthly report.
Again, you have the report in there, a couple of highlights that are out there. The Hendricks project, this would be the hatchery going on. The sanitary sewer is being installed as we speak. They started, I think, last week. That's moving along quite nicely. You'll see teaming go in and get started with the road construction the first part of July. Let the sanitary sewer get out ahead of them, they'll come in behind. And I know they've met and coordinated with Hendricks, so they know how to make sure they continue to have access in and out of their property as they pour that road moving forward. City Auditorium, the work has started there on the north side of the property. They're doing some tuck pointing, and I know they have some other work they're going to be doing there to help kind of secure and that building. I think then they're going to look to move on to the east side of the building. So you'll probably be seeing a change order coming forward for them to extend onto the east side of the building. We have money in the budget. We just signed the contract for the north side. Want to see how their work product was. How, it was a good relationship working between them. It's proven to do so. So I think you'll see us bring a change order in to do the east side of the building and continue to move forward there. And then finally, the downtown revitalization grant, the phase 2, the actual facade improvement program. It's out there, it's available for people, it's on our website. If anybody has any interest in going out and seeing the program itself, the application, all the documents you need are on our website, and we're working on getting that information out more to the property owners in the downtown area so they can take advantage of that program as it moves forward.
Rich?
Toby, I haven't been here the last couple of meetings, and how are we on the 407 court property? Are we?
407 Court property, the last council meeting you had, you signed a settlement agreement with George Warnick. You signed a contract with George to acquire the property from him for $1. Right now, we've getting title insurance. I've not gotten the commitment back from the title insurance company. As soon as I get that, we'll proceed with closing with George. We'll own the property, and then we can move forward with transferring the property to the Radigans or wherever else we want to do with it.
Okay. Thank you.
Did you raise that dollar from in-house yet?
Not yet. I haven't passed the hat quite yet.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna do that for me, but.
We're getting closer. We haven't closed yet, so before closing, we'll get it taken care
Open the
of.
refrigerator, there's some money in the pop money jar.
If that's the last we'll hear of it, I'll donate the $1.
Anything else, Tobias?
No.
Anything from? I think the, you want to talk about the tree removal process and how that's going?
Sure. If you've been out there and seen, I think we've seen quite a brush pile growing down there near 2nd and Ella Street. I think that has worked really well. Residents have done a great job stepping up and bringing their things down there. We'll continue to have the tree dump site open at least through this weekend and give people an opportunity to have yet another week and weekend to go down and bring their brush down there. We'll reassess how things are going next week to see if we need to continue to have it open. Does it, are we still continuing the demand, or is it kind of taking care of itself by that point? So again, I would just like to congratulate the crews and say thank you to them. They did a wonderful job out there working. One thing to keep in mind is those guys all worked a full day Friday, went home for about 4 or 5 hours, called back in, and worked then for 8 to 20 hours straight, trying to get streets opened up, making sure. You got to remember, we lost power to the water wells, and so those guys were out checking those pipes to make sure that we didn't have any issues out with the water system. WPC, they lost power to all of their lift stations, so they're out checking all those to make sure that those are still working appropriately. Street department's obviously out clearing streets. The electric department, we know what those guys were doing. If anybody saw LaSalle Street and the mess they had there to try to put back together, I think it's pretty impressive. PTHOT had his guys out there. Hannibal Park had a tournament Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. I think we had a half-hour delay. We had enough of it cleared there that they were able to play at 8:30 in the morning and play all weekend. You had 40 teams in town, so I think that worked very well there. So all in all, I think your guys went out and did a heck of a job cleaning everything up, getting things moving along. We got Homestead Days this week, and so we're moving ahead trying to get things ready for that. Chautauqua Park had the the swap meet this last weekend. We were down there getting those things cleaned up so those guys could have their function their Saturday and Sunday. They'll go back in now, continue to clean everything up so Homestead Days can go on without a hitch down that area. So again, I would just say thank you to the guys that were out there working. Guys and girls, we had several of them that came in as well and answered phones. Sitting out the service center on Saturday afternoon answering phone calls, because if you ever know what it's like, come down to dispatch when it happens and listen to the phone calls you get. It's amazing what people are concerned with as you're answering those. I was down there till probably about 1:30 in the morning listening to phone calls and trying to get things dispersed, and it's enlightening.
You bet.
How about a big thank you then to the city guys?
You betcha. I think they did a good job. Absolutely.
All right, Tobias, thank you very much.
We do have an exec
Is that enough sucking up, Mo?
I know. Our next regular meeting is going to be on Wednesday, July 5th, so note the date change. It's because of how the holiday falls. And then our work session is going to be a week from today, right here in these chambers. And I now recommend that we go into executive session.
Mayor, I move that we go into executive session for the protection of public interest at 7:21 p.m.
Second.
Moved by Catlin, seconded by Kerr, that we go into executive session at 7:21. Your vote, please. And that is approved, 5 to 2, with Councilman Billsbach and party voting no.
See what